Hello guys, hope you're all having good time. Today we are gonna talk about that how to create a simple Springboot project and how to run it. So I'm not gonna go very much deep in what are the benefits of the Spring Boot and all, and I will limit this video to create a Spring Boot application, run it, and just test it. We all know like Spring Boot provides out of the box many functionalities like you can create a production ready systems, you can integrate with the cloud config. It inbuilds provide a lot of projects like Spring Security, Session, Hatios, Elasticsearch, Kafka, tons of different projects we have, which gives the integration, makes the integration very seamlessly, very useful. And it comes with the internal containers. By default is the Tomcat, and you can use Jetty in it. It uses logback for by default the logging framework, and also tons of different functionalities. So there are many ways how you can create a Spring Boot project. Out of the box, Eclipse, IntelliJ, and other tools have their plugin where you can go and create a Spring Boot project. But by default, all of them uses the Spring Initializer. So that's a very good place to start with. I create most of my starter projects from here only. So you can see you have two options for your build tools. So either you can choose Gradle or Maven. I will choose Gradle for now. You have language options. I will keep Java, and it will always show you the snapshot version and the latest stable version. I always go with the latest stable version. And to metadata, you can write com.company name, and in demo you can write my application. In an option you will see like what's the name of the application, if you want to add some description, and the package name, and how you want to package it. So pretty much now everyone goes with jar because it inbuilds packs Tomcat by default, and Jetty if you want to, it can be configured. And if you want to drop and create a war file which can be deployed to any of the containers, say like Jetty or Tomcat, you can use war as well. But pretty much now everyone uses jar, and then after that you can choose your language version. After here you can add your dependencies. So for example, if you want to use Spring Security, Spring JPA, integrate with Hibernate, Actuator, Spring Kafka, Spring Elasticsearch, Spring Data, you can choose the dependencies from here. And even though if you don't choose here, you can always go back into your the build tool file, which is in Maven. In case you will have a Maven dependencies, and Gradle you will add the build dependencies, and you can always enhance. So I will start with the web now. So you keep typing here stuff what you want if you already know, and you can click it and it will be added here. But if you want to see the full list, then you can go back to the full list. Like if you want to use the Spring Dev tools, you don't have to restart your application every time. The moment you change the code, it is already loaded, and you can see in a browser or whatever you are writing. Lombok reduces the code, makes it easy to read, and a lot of web level things. Templating engines for UI, security, SQL level things, NoSQL integration like Elastic, Cassandra, Apache Solar, Redis, messaging framework level projects like Kafka, WebSocket, Solus PubCQ, ActiveMQ, RabbitMQ, those kind of integrations. In IO, if you want to write a batch application, mail API, scheduling application. For operations, it gives a good functionality out of the box using Actuator, where you can see all the traces, health information, info, tons of different stuff. Testing frameworks, then Spring Cloud Services, where you wanna upload the configuration, add some functions, manage the tasks. Spring Cloud Security tools, Spring Cloud Config, if you wanna have a centralized server where you wanna store all of your config, it could be Git or SVN or any vault services. So that's pretty much, that's really good, a lot of projects, and these are the projects which you can add it on the fly, and just use the functionality, and they will do all the dependency resolution behind the scene. For example, Spring Eureka Discovery Client if you are creating a Springboard cluster and all those things. Cloud routing, Hystrix, circuit breaker, cloud tracing if you are not using any kind of tracing framework which comes with, say, like Dynamics or Instana or Dynatrace. Those kind of tool provides out of the box tracing mechanisms, but many people create their own cloud tracing. So Sleuth or Zipkin, many of them, cloud messaging, Pivotal Cloud Foundry, AWS integration, Azure, Google platform. So pretty much you see like integration or having these many modules or project imported, it is pretty quick, and Spring out of the box creates all of the dependency resolution and everything for you. So I will just add for now Spring Web only and click generate. It will download here as a zip file. I can go to the folder it got downloaded, and I'm just gonna say extract. So now this application has been extracted. Since I use the Gradle as a build tool, it will show Gradle, and if you're using Maven it will be different. This is your src typically directory which have main test, and then after that the build.gradle file which will have list all the dependencies, the wrapper to run the Gradle. So if you don't have a Gradle install, you can use wrapper to fire the build tool commands. All it requires is the JRE, AMD file, setting of Gradles. If you want to set any project name, add more Git module. Git ignore file by default comes in. So if you are associating with this project with any of the Git based platform like Bitbucket, GitHub, GitLab, those things, here you can say like, okay, I don't want these files to be committed to Git. For example, your build output folder or your build artifacts. So pretty much we got over here, we downloaded my application. I'm gonna go to the command prompt now, and then after that I'm gonna go to my application we just downloaded, and I'm gonna run a Gradle wrapper. So if we're using Gradle wrapper, we don't have to install Gradle, all we need is JRE. And if you are using Windows, you can use Gradle wrapper.batch, and then after that the command I'm gonna run is to clean the project, build the project, and run it. So here is gonna go download all the dependencies if you already don't have on your class path and it will download on the local cache or Gradle cache, and then after that it will fire all the test cases which is by default as part of the build. And once the build is done, you boot run, your application is up. So now if you're gonna see that it says that application is already up and running, and like we discussed before, it is using a Tomcat container to run. And Apache is the web server, Tomcat, it shows the version, it initialized the Springboot web contest, everything is done in 700 milliseconds, and then after that the code is Tomcat is running on port 8080. So let's go real quick and see what's running on localhost 8080. So I'm gonna say localhost colon 8080. Here you go, we got the white label page which is perfectly fine at this moment since we don't have any mapping. So Springboot is up and running. So let's go a little bit back and see what the Gradle clean build did. So boot run was to run. So now if you go do a ls over here, you would see a build directory got created, which is basically telling all your compiled classes, your generated sources, your lib which contains your jar, the final artifact produced by build.gradle, report, resources, test result, and temp. So that's cover how to run a basic Spring Boot template. Thank you guys for watching.